work with artists, do you try and steer them and advise them on bodies of work that you think are good or not good, or on editing things,
Sure,
or on taking a second step back?
Absolutely.
How crucial is that in the role of,
I think it's vital. I think that if you're not doing that, you're not doing your job as a dealer.
Do you ever feel pressure for product?
From whom?
From
the market?
From the market, yeah, from the amount of events that you do.
Well, of course, that's the sort of the other side of the double-edged sword, you know? The machine that has been created through this explosion in the art market, which includes all the things we've been discussing, plus art fairs, which are like, you know, sort of a necessary evil.
Do you think it's sustainable? Do you think we'll see big change?
I don't know. That really depends. Unfortunately, I think change on that level only comes when there's an economic dent.
Well, we're seeing a kind of crisis on the mid-level for galleries.
Well, we're seeing a big crisis just on every level today.
I know.
Now, does that affect the art market immediately, or the market in general immediately? I mean, no, not immediately. I mean, immediately it does have an effect because people get distracted by that.
Yeah.
But, you know, nothing can expand, you know, forever. It's like breath. It's gotta like breathe. You gotta breathe.
How do you?
And that's the fucking problem with the art fair circuit and all that. It's like just, you know, people get on that merry-go-round and they just simply can't seem to figure out how to get the fuck off.
How do you do that?
I mean, I don't go to all of them, and if I go, I usually, you know, I'll go for a day or two. I mean, you can't. It's, you know, if you start adding it up, it's sort of repulsive, especially if you have all this other stuff you want to do, like organizing exhibitions and selling art and doing studio visits and having a personal life and all that.
Do you think the fairs are working in the sense that they're still attracting the
They do.
audiences?
People still, it's an easy place for people to get a lot of information and look at a lot of art. I think the problems come when when you're not doing creative, interesting projects for those fairs. If it's just another group show of things that, you know, aren't interesting or fresh or new, then that's a big problem.
So tell me a little bit about the Underground Museum, where we're heading now.
Founded by Noah Davis, great artist here in LA, who sadly passed away, but he had a vision of creating a museum called the Underground Museum, and he made it happen before he passed. It's in a specifically African American, Latino neighborhood. You know, it's a precise kind of interesting look at the art world from that viewpoint. He kicked it off with an exhibition called Imitation of Wealth, which was because he couldn't get loans for certain works, he recreated works of art like Koons and others that he couldn't borrow, so they simply recreated them. They wanted a kind of museum in the hood,
right? And
they created their own museum and art for the hood, but in a very conscious way, because he's a very, you know,
very thoughtful,
studied person, you know, highly educated, and that got a lot of attention. Noah, before he passed, created a book. It's a thick book of exhibitions he wanted to do, and they've been, you know, moving through these exhibitions. So it's kind of a profound work of art.
Yeah.
Like a, you know,
an amazing legacy as well.
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary.
We're at the Underground Museum now with Justin Leroy.
We sort of want to be a place that is your center of rejuvenation, centering, meditation. So when you leave home and then you haven't been in a really long time, that moment when you come back and you take your shoes off and your feet are on the carpet, just that refreshing feeling, yeah, every time.
I feel that way when I come here.
Yeah, good. So exhibition that we do have up now is Artists of Color, which is really focused on changing the way that our audience really perceives color in the world and applying color to themes of simple mood or nationalism. It's sort of been a portal for people to kind of create their own world in the museum space.
Is this called the community garden?
The Purple Garden.
The Purple
Yeah,
Garden.
the Purple
Which is
Garden.
for the, can we take a look?
Of course we can, yeah.
Great.
And purple was Noah's favorite color. He feels as if purple is to black people what Yves Klein's blue is to white people.
That's great.
The color purple being linked to royalty and wanting to make sure that anybody that occupied this space felt that exact same way. Royal. And it's so many different worlds coming together to meet and share this love for whatever that it is that we're doing. So I think we've been able to really develop some interesting conversations and interactions between people who are well-versed in contemporary art and people who are coming here as their first museum experience.
Yeah.
You know?
So amazing. I feel like Tim, you're taking me on a tour of like the calmest, most meditative spaces in LA. Like I feel really relaxed after today.
You know, this is it. If you're living here like this, you should embrace, you know, we should like, right?
Right. This is it.
Absolutely.
Like dig into it.
Absolutely.
Man.
I don't feel like I find this in New York.
No, it shows the best of a community and it shows the best of this particular town, where some people took it upon themselves to make something happen.